Sonali Kulkarni, welcome to CNN News 18.
शुक्रिया.
Sonali, first, congratulations. You have recently released your second book titled So Kul Part Take 2. That is actually the part 2 of So Kul series. It reflects your observation about everyday life and anecdote from your cinematic journey. So then please tell us more about the book and what prompted this idea of putting your thoughts in this book.
Thank you, Vishal. I feel very nice because we talk about films, we talk about plays, we talk about web shows, which we will, but we rarely talk about books, reading, writing. I was a guest editor with Indian Express Lok Satta for 2 years, and we came up with a book called So Kul. That was the title of my column as well, by Rajhans Prakashan. Uh, Indian Express invited me again to write in their supplement called Viva, and I continued writing for consecutive 3 years. And we had about 180 odd articles, out of which we have chosen 85 interesting articles, and we have come up with the second book of my second season of writing. And we were struggling for the title. The first book was called So Cool. What do we call the second book? Would it be part two? Would it be So Cool continues? So Cool, by the way, is abbreviation of my name as well.
Sonali
Sonali
Kulkarni.
Kulkarni, So Cool. So it goes well with the vibe. And my editor, Allad Godbole sir, he came up with this title, which goes very well with my profession. And we are calling it So Cool Take Two.
Very nice. But then, how has been the feedback to the book?
When I was writing, the articles were printed every week, which was a privilege as a budding writer, because not every writer gets such an opportunity. I must tell you that wherever I traveled, whenever I met people, there was 25% of the audience who continuously spoke to me about my writing, even when they came after watching a play of mine. I'm very happy the book is already reaching people. There is a huge uh, reader audience who's buying the book, and they're ordering the book. People are sending me screenshots of their order. This book, my husband said this very well, that this book is very interesting in the sense you can actually start from any page. It is like a thought provoking reel. So you can start anywhere. You don't have to continuously, you don't have to chronologically read it. You can start from any page. And
All
I
are
have
centered on
articles about my neighbors, about how responsible we are as a citizen. I have articles about house helps, drivers, political situations, sports scene of India, some poetic uh, sentiments, and some obituaries.
nice. So then, you've been now acting from last 30 years. So in this book, is there a chapter or chapters about Gen Z and their commitment to the work and about their aspirations?
Not really. Surprisingly, there is one article which is hilarious. By the way, there are quite a few humorous articles. So there is one article where I have written about how people approach this profession. I was working out in a gym, and there was this trainer, gym trainer. He approached my treadmill and he said, "Kya? Sab theek?" So I said, "हाँ sir, सब ठीक." तो he said, "क्या चल नहीं रहा है आपका कुछ?" मैंने कहा, "क्या नहीं चल रहा है?" सो ही सेड, नहीं कुछ मूवीज ब्रेक लिया है क्या? तो आई गॉट इनटू अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन बिकॉज ही वाज पुअर गाय, probably have wanting to have a conversation. मैंने कहा, सरप्राइजिंग, व्हाई आर यू आस्किंग मी, आर यू इंटरेस्टेड इन माय प्रोफेशन? So he said, he started looking in the mirror and he said, yeah, I mean, I have, मैंने body बनाया है, and I definitely want to become a model. Actor तो, I was very surprised at his confidence, because he felt bodybuilding is becoming an actor. So I said, very nice. If that is your preparation, every person can have a different style of preparation. So I asked him that, what do you want to do? He said, his accent was very interesting. He was speaking to me in Marathi. So he said, I like Marathi movies. So I said, okay, if you like, can you name a few? Which one have you liked? He couldn't name a single. And he murmured some name and he said, I said, okay, do you like any director in Marathi? So he named a few popular, not a few, he named one and a half names. So I said, why don't you do one thing? If you like this profession, watch a few films, watch at least 15 films, pick a few directors जिनका काम तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है and then meet them, try to meet them, send them a message that this and this is my name and I'm interested in acting. And I said, don't you wonder that how I must have started my career? So this was not a typical ragging session, but I couldn't stop laughing somewhere while writing. When I was in the scene, it was pretty serious because this guy was very casual about acting and he just wanted to start acting as if he's doing favor on the industry.
But do you
So
come across youngsters who want to first build their body and that's what they think that that's important to be an
of
actor to have.
absolutely, there are so many of them, but I always feel that physical fitness is as important as mental fitness. So, are we fit mentally? Do we exactly know what we want to do? And if we know, then it is commendable because I wasn't such a crystal clear person. I was very confused and I was enjoying my confusion. I was scared. They also have wealthy families these days who back their dreams, but there has to be some thought about what kind of lifestyle we have. I'm not saying every person has to do theater workshop, I'm not saying every person has to read, but we must keep our observations alive. We must watch things, we must watch what is happening around us, be it theater, plays. We must be participating in life rather than participating in any theoretic things. So I quite admire families who love their bacha so much that they don't care what the bacha is doing. They are just ready to buy clothes and they are ready to tell the casting director कि पैसा है हमारे पास. We just want a break.
Then I was about to ask you, but since you have brought the topic of Marathi cinema, you were part of a very good Marathi film called Deool.
Ah, yes.
Created a buzz. Naseeruddin Shah made his Marathi debut with that film. The film was also got rave reviews. That was the time when Marathi cinema was witnessing a boom.
Yeah.
Are there interesting subjects and stories from Marathi cinema that you think should be presented to a wider audience, perhaps to Hindi audience?
Well, Marathi cinema has always kept up with the expectations. We have fantastic experiments. Rather than calling these films uh, art house cinema, parallel cinema, festival cinema, I think we should call these films experimental films. We have clean division in theater. These are professional plays, these are experimental plays. You must watch a film called Amal Tash. This is made by Rahul Deshpande, the singer, and his friends. It is such a brilliant take on a singer's life. There is a film called Navardev BSc Agree. I mean, I'm talking about this year's cinema. Uh, we have no dearth of good writers or directors or actors. What we lack is big budgets. Marathi cinema is always holding the torch. It is a torch-bearer cinema because there are stories which are relatable, which reflect the times and the clashes that we are facing. You mentioned Deool. I'm very happy because it is made by Umesh Kulkarni.
Yes.
Uh, Deool won the Best Film National Award, uh, Golden Lotus,
Yes.
everything. I'm very happy for Umesh. At the same time, we have filmmakers like Sachin Kundalkar, Jabbar Patel. Though he is a veteran,
Parvesh Mukashi, who made
Paresh
Harishchandra.
Mukashi. Paresh made some really nice cinema. I mean,
Harishchandra
that,
Factory, I remember what a
yeah,
film it was.
beautiful. And he made Elizabeth Ekadashi, Chiva Chisauka. So, variety of cinema. But we don't have visionary producers. Thankfully, there are corporate houses who are ready to back big
Yeah,
dreams, who have that grandeur in their mind. But there is a notion somehow that Marathi cinema can be made with a little budget, with a smaller appetite, which is where I feel like fighting that no. When Marathi cinema is bringing so much uh, healthy, strong, progressive content on table, then the storytellers and the filmmakers deserve better budget.
totally, totally. Fully agree with you. You know, I have to ask you, as a diehard Dil Chahta fan, do you remember the date when you went or the Pooja went with Subodh to have ice cream?
Believe you me, I am always asked, and friends when they meet me, they ask me, "Ki, please tell us when did we meet last time? What was the time? मैंने कौन से कलर की शर्ट पहनी थी? मैंने कब बलून लाया था?" It is hilarious, and I can't believe that a film has left such a beautiful impression on people's mind. I mean, we have crossed generations, but people are still holding the high of Dil Chahta Hai, which is the high point of my career because uh, the kind of path I have chosen, I have done variety of regional cinema, international cinema, and mainstream cinema. Dil Chahta Hai is unshakable, and I really hope that there are re-releases, and I hope my dear friends decide to bring back Dil Chahta Hai in theaters, and the newer generations can also enjoy this landmark cinema in theaters.
But it will happen, and it was, of course, a game changer. But what day? Remember the date when Subodh took you for for an ice cream?
OMG, are you serious about your question? Nahi, I don't remember.
I just tell you, he says, यहाँ देखो समीर, 15 सितंबर को हम यहाँ पहली बार मिले थे और ठीक 7 दिन बाद 22 सितंबर को हम यहाँ आइसक्रीम खाने आए थे.
Amazing.
And do
Big
you
cheer for
remember?
you, Vishal.
And when Saif says, सुबोध तुम्हें टाइम याद है? Do you remember time? What was the time?
नहीं, pass.
कहते यहाँ याद है बिल्कुल ठीक, 5 शाम के 5:55 हुए थे.
Amazing, Vishal.
It's, I mean, it's a, I mean, who doesn't remember that film? I mean, it was a game changer, you know.
Yeah.
So then, how do you look back at Dil Chahta Hai? How you back that film? And what is your most cherished memory of shooting Dil Chahta Hai?
My casting for Dil Chahta Hai happened by chance, luck by chance. Very filmy situation. Someone was carrying my photographs. That was the era where people would do photo sessions and distribute photos to. Uh, we would send photos to filmmakers. There were no casting directors back then. So someone was carrying my photos, and the photo slipped down. And Zoya happened to look. They were casting for Dil Chahta Hai then, and she said, "Who's that? I like that face." And she took the photo in her hand, and she said, "What's her name?" Somebody said Sonali Kulkarni. She said, "No, I know Sonali Kulkarni. I have seen her films." Because by then I was doing films which had gone for international film festivals and all. I had won some awards. So she knew me by face. But that was a photo shoot in a little mod avatar and casual clothes. And she was quite impressed, and she sent me a message. I appeared for the audition, and I still remember Zoya and we recreated the scene where Saif comes to Pooja's house for the first time. Sorry, Pooja goes to Saif's house. So We improvised that scene, and it was that simple. After the audition, I was told that I am selected for Dil Chahta Hai, and you know, I wasn't aware that this is going to be such a epic film.
Landmark film for Hindi cinema.
Absolutely. I wasn't aware. I was just happy meeting this bright, uh, witty, extraordinary bunch of people: Farhan, Zoya, Ritesh Sidhwani, Arjun Bhasin, Shankar Ehsan Loy, and the fabulous cast. I mean, that was a different time when we had, that was the first film I remember where, at the entrance of the studio, it was written that no mobiles allowed on the set.
Wow.
We were given the scripts of the next day's scenes on the earlier day. It was very disciplined and a pleasure shooting. And I remember my birthday on Dil Chahta Hai set, where everyone wished me, and I used to be very very shy of my birthday, and I still am. But that day, somehow Preeti got to know it is my birthday, and she told, and Zoya already knew. So there was a big announcement. We were in Goa, shooting in Goa, and she announced happy birthday. And love poured in, greetings poured in, gifts poured in. I will never forget my birthday in Goa.
How many days you shot for that song, "वो लड़की है कहाँ," and where it was shot?
Precisely 3 days.
That's all. How many changes you had? Like many
So
changes.
probably 4 days. We had three eras. So first one was black and white with a ball gown and tuxedos. Boys were wearing tuxedos. The second one was Buffon. It was Sadhana and Sharmila ji's era with a tight salwar kameez. And last one was Shri Ma'am and Madhuri's era,
How
where I
was?
had sari, blue bangles.
What was it like working with Saif Ali Khan? He was very fairly new that time.
I doubt he was already a star. He was an established star, and I would always remember his compassion and his cool vibe. He would carry his music, and he was a pleasure to work with. What a gentleman he is.
You played the role of Nilima Khan in Mission Kashmir,
Right.
the wife of Sanjay Dutt in the film and mother to Hrithik's character. The film, of course, clashed with Mohabbatein at the box office. I love the song Soja Re Chanda.
सोजा चंदा राजा सोजा चल सपनों में चल.
What are your memories of shooting that film? And did you shoot in Kashmir?
Yes, that was the first time I traveled to Srinagar. Uh, we have heard so much about Kashmir being so beautiful, but I have seen the other side of Kashmir, which was pretty sunsan, which I didn't see anyone loitering around, or it was us who had gone to Dal Lake. I don't know how Vidhu Vinod Chopra managed the permissions, and we shot at Charchinar, we shot at Shankaracharya temple and the Dargah. We shot everywhere, and I could travel in the Shikara. If you remember the scene with older Hrithik, I mean original Hrithik, I had to travel in Shikara. So entirely we explored that region. It was quite an experience because I met families who had not come to Srinagar for years. There were women who just wanted to touch me. They wanted my lipstick, my kajal, my makeup. And I was not actually dressed like a heroine because that was a very sober look. I go to meet my son after a long time. But even then, they wanted to know if I was carrying any makeup. There were many families, they lived on shikaras. Uh, so for me, I'm a political science student, but I wouldn't have known this state and region so well unless I had done Mission Kashmir. And all thanks to Vidhu Vinod Chopra.
purely looking at the box office numbers of Chhaava and the way people are connecting with the film and the performances, we haven't seen the same audiences venturing in cinemas for other films. How do you see Chhaava's success?
I'm extremely happy that Chhaava is doing so well. And the actor and director, Vicky and Lakshman Uttekar, they are getting the deserving dues. It feels extremely proud because this is the story of this land. There are many chapters. There was a film on Tanaji by Ajay Devgan. There was a film which Sharat Kelkar had made. There are many films are being which are being made about Shivaji Maharaj, and I'm very happy because this is a land of in Marathi. Marathi Bhasha Divas is coming up very soon. There's a very nice poem by Viva Shirvadkar on whose birth anniversary we celebrate Marathi Bhasha Divas. Kusumagraj says, Rakata Desha, Kanakhara Desha, Maharashtra Desha. There are many beautiful poems written by variety of poems about this land, that how hardworking, how noble, how sincere, humble, truthful this land is. Any story of Marathi region doing so well feels very proud. I'm ready to welcome all the stories which are being told in the coming years, uh, which are Marathi stories.
Sure. You know, Shyam Benegal passed away last year in December. You had worked with him in Well Done Abba. How do you remember Shyam Babu? He was a very progressive storyteller.
Um, I remember him as a very humorous person. He was so light and he was so warm. He had come for one of my film with Govind Nilani sir. Shyam Babu had given the clap. He'd come on our day one and he spoke with all of us. He wanted to know about Rajkamal studio where we were shooting. He wanted to know the story. He didn't poke us about our preparations, about our characters. He had that dignity. I will always remember him as a lovely partner to his wife and lovely father to Pia. They were such a cultured and dignified, gracious family. I will remember him as my guru, Pandit Satyadev Dubeji's dear friend. I will remember him for his fine English. Anyone who would have such great command over a language. I still remember one incident where he said, "What do you mean by awesome? You all are talking about it was an awesome dish, it was an awesome film." He said, "There is no word called awesome." But I don't know whether it was included in the dictionary later, but when I was shooting for Well Done Abba, he had told me that what is this awesome expression? Uh, he enjoyed conversations, and I will always remember his office, which was my life's first ever film production office that I had seen.
Well, with that, I want to say thank you for giving us such a cool book, a collection of your short stories and an anecdote from your cinematic journey. Looking forward to lots more and all the best. So,
Thank you so much, Vishal. See
thanks.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.